Listeners, tonight we are going to talk about Alexander, the philosopher and the great king. Before starting, write down what time is it in your country and where are you listening from, and get comfortable, breathe deeply, and let the soft glow of history warm your thoughts as you drift into a peaceful night's rest. In the cool marble halls of the Macedonian palace in Pella, a boy once dreamed of a world far beyond his homeland. His name was Alexander, son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias, and he would grow to become one of the greatest conquerors in history. But before he crossed mountains and deserts, before his name echoed through the halls of distant empires, he was simply a curious, restless boy with a boundless imagination. Alexander's early life was filled with stories of heroes and gods. His mother, Olympias, whispered tales of Achilles and Heracles, telling her son that he, too, was descended from divine blood. His father, a brilliant but often harsh warrior king, taught him the strategies of war and the importance of discipline. But perhaps the most influential figure in Alexander's early life was his tutor, the philosopher Aristotle. From him, Alexander learned the ways of logic and reason, the movements of the stars, the nature of politics, and the art of persuasion. Aristotle even gifted Alexander a rare annotate copy of Homer's Iliad, which the young prince kept close throughout his campaigns, often sleeping with it under his pillow like a treasured talisman. One of the most famous stories of Alexander's youth involves a magnificent black stallion named Bucephalus. According to legend, this horse, with its glossy coat and fiery spirit, was brought before King Philip, but none could tame it. The horse reared and snorted, throwing off every rider who tried. Young Alexander, perhaps 12 or 13 at the time, watched carefully from the side. He noticed that Bucephalus seemed afraid of his own shadow. Approaching the horse with a calm confidence that surprised the courtiers, Alexander turned Bucephalus to face the sun, so the shadow fell behind. Slowly he reached for the reins, speaking in a soothing voice, and then, to the amazement of all present, swung himself onto the horse's back. The stallion reared for a moment, then, sensing the steady hand of his new master, calmed and allowed Alexander to guide him across the field. When he returned, his father, King Philip, reportedly said, with a tear in his eye, "My boy, you must find a kingdom big enough for your ambitions. Macedonia is too small for you." From that day on, Bucephalus became Alexander's loyal companion, carrying him through countless battles, and the bond between them grew legendary. As a young king, Alexander was known not only for his courage, but also for his cleverness. One famous example is the Gordian Knot, a massive, tightly wound knot said to hold the yoke of an ancient chariot in the Phrygian city of Gordium. Prophecy claimed that whoever could untie this impossible knot would rule all of Asia. Alexander, never one to back down from a challenge, examined the knot carefully. Instead of struggling to pick it apart, as countless others had tried, he simply drew his sword and sliced it in half with a single stroke. "It makes no difference how it is untied," he declared, winning both the prophecy and the admiration of his soldiers. In the kingdom of Macedonia, young Alexander was known for his wild spirit and sharp mind. He was the son of King Philip II, a fierce warrior, and Olympias, a strong-willed queen who filled his head with tales of divine ancestry and heroic feats. From a young age, Alexander dreamed not just of ruling Macedonia, but of conquering lands far beyond the horizon. One bright morning, when Alexander was around 12 years old, a wealthy Thessalian trader arrived at the Macedonian court, leading a magnificent black stallion by his side. The horse's coat gleamed like polished onyx, and its fiery eyes darted nervously, muscles twitching with barely contained energy. The trader proudly announced that this horse, Bucephalus, was the finest in all of Greece, but his price was steep. Intrigued, King Philip ordered his horsemen to test the stallion. One by one, the soldiers attempted to mount the horse, but each was swiftly thrown to the ground, their armor clanging as they hit the dirt. The horse reared up, eyes rolling in panic, its hooves striking the air like thunder.